Battle Through the Heavens God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 370, the Golden Dragon King retreats and absorbs the source of life. Long Yi, I know your purpose for following me, but I can also tell you clearly, if you follow me faithfully and rule the Dragon Clan in the future, you will definitely be benefited, and Xiaoyan is also to some extent. My disciple, you should know how to do it, right? The next moment, the Golden Dragon King also slowly said to Long Yi who was beside him, My lord, I know what to do. Long Yi also smiled, but his heart was already blooming with joy. Obviously, Long Yi is also quite happy. After all, the Dragon Clan is a place where strong people gather. Every dragon from other planes takes entering the Dragon Clan as the highest honor. Long Yi is no exception. It's just that Long Yi's strength is too weak, and his own dragon blood is too weak, so if you want to join this dragon family, it will be more difficult than ascending to the sky. But following Xiaoyan, it is different. Even Long Yi is very happy with the strength this kid is showing now. If he follows this kid, then the Golden Dragon King will be resurrected in the future, and he will join the Dragon Clan. There may be some great benefits as well. By that time, Yulongmen will be just around the corner. That's why Long Yi is so happy. When I'm away, remember to take good care of yourself. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly. Yes. Xiaoyan heard the words, his pupils also became a little wet. Obviously he had just arrived in this strange world. If it wasn't for his master, the Golden Dragon King, he probably wouldn't know where he was. Although you are only a 4-star Dodi at this time, the power of life is not a bad idea. After the Golden Dragon King finished speaking, he also exuded a golden doqi, and then closed his eyes slightly, facing the man in the palm of his hand. The source of life is gone? The next moment, an extremely huge life force was also emitted from the source of life stone, and then slowly injected into the circular object. Next, after doing all this, the Golden Dragon King also laughed. Master, this. As soon as Xiaoyan took over, he felt an extremely strong force emanating from this round object. This thing is called Shuiyun, and it is a thing specially used to preserve medicinal power. As for the power of life, the effect is extremely terrifying. Even if it is you now, you will have a qualitative leap after absorbing it. After all, this is a power that can only be absorbed by the powerhouses of the Douyin level soul power, so I can rest assured that you can absorb it. The Golden Dragon King also said. Furthermore, here is the core area of the entire Xuanling Emperor Pond, and the effect of soaking here will be even better than outside. And with this power of life, it is also a matter of course for the stepping stone of the 6-star Dodi. Even the 5-star Dodi can be touched. The Golden Dragon King also said. Xiaoyan was overjoyed when he heard this. Even if it was the diluted life force in front of him, the intensity of its energy was even greater than anything Xiaoyan had ever seen before. With such a huge power, I am afraid that it can also impact the level of the perfection level of the 4-star Dodi. Yes. Xiaoyan heard the words and said the same. Then I'm leaving. The Golden Dragon King also glanced at Xiaoyan slowly, and then no longer hesitated, with the rather strange shape of the source of life stone in his hand, and poured directly into the Emperor Flame ring in Xiaoyan's hand among them, and his own soul also followed the source of life into the Emperor Flame ring instantly. The next moment, Xiaoyan also felt that, in his Emperor Flame ring, in a dark space, a huge golden hood also appeared. Obviously, this is his Master Dragon King devouring the source of life stone and restoring his origin force. Let's do the right thing, after all, it's a lot of time lost. Xiaoyan also said slowly after a short stay. Don't worry, there's me too. Long Yi also found that Xiaoyan seemed a little lost, and then said slowly. Yes. Xiaoyan also responded with a sound, then picked up the Shuiyun in his hand and observed it carefully. This water cloud looks like a vessel with a ring-shaped edge. The edges are ring-shaped, and the middle sinks. In the vessel at this time, the colorless and transparent water also stood slowly and quietly. Although it is extremely small, the terrifying power contained in it is exuded without the slightest concealment. This is really a good thing. Xiaoyan also murmured. The seemingly weak life force in his hands, if Xiaoyan had not possessed as many as 23 kinds of different fires and a huge soul force, he would not dare to absorb it rashly. Otherwise, if you can't absorb such a huge amount of power, you'll have to explode and die. Fortunately, Xiaoyan had enough confidence to absorb this power, and immediately put the vessel down, and then slowly sat cross-legged. If he wanted to absorb this life force, Xiaoyan also had to make sure of everything. After all, this kind of opportunity was rare. Xiaoyan sat down cross-legged, then took out many high-level medicinal pills and slowly placed them in front of him. The space here is really strange. It can't recover any trace of Dou Qi, and the body of Dou Emperor cannot be used. Xiaoyan also murmured, and the next moment Xiaoyan no longer hesitated, and suddenly took those medicinal pills slowly to swallow it. Immediately after taking the medicine pill, an extremely gentle force instantly swam in Xiaoyan's body, roaming among Xiaoyan's limbs. At that time, the parts of Xiaoyan's body where the Dou Qi was exhausted were slowly recovering the Dou Qi, and the medicinal power was constantly swimming. King. The fat and thin brothers and sisters failed. A man dressed in plain clothes also swayed the feather fan in his palm slightly. Trash. My Xuanling royal family has nurtured them for so long, yet I can't even handle this trivial matter. On the throne, King Xuanling was also instantly furious. The extremely expensive night pearl on the palm was also crushed instantly and turned into powder in the hall. King, come down. Wen Ziyai also said. How are the preparations for the crusade against the Medusa family? The next moment, King Xuanling suddenly raised his head and asked. The dragon-loving legion has already gathered 5 people. The remaining 5 people are also being summoned. Once these 5 people are gathered together, they can also set off to crusade Medusa at that time. It's just. Before Wen Ziyai finished speaking, his tone became extremely strange. Just. What? King Xuanling also snorted coldly. Among the dragon-loving legions, many people seem to be very dissatisfied with your rule. Wen Ziyai said slowly without hesitation. Damn it. After this success, I will make you all willingly bow your heads and serve as ministers. After King Xuanling finished speaking, his eyes became fierce. Go on, prepare for the auction first. King Xuanling also remembered something, and then said slowly. Yes, my king. Wen Ziyai also replied softly, and then left the next moment. At this time, in the Great Hall, the gold and blue were brilliant, and only King Xuanling was left on the throne. He didn't know what to think. In another place, in an extremely delicate room, Elder Zhu also opened his eyes and murmured, there are still 20 days. Chapter 371, Do Dipil. On the periphery of the Xuanling Emperor Pond, the 9 fishes playing the dragon formation is impressively guarding the entrance to the Xuanling Emperor Pond. But at this time, at the entrance of the Xuanling Emperor Pond, a black figure filled with a terrifying aura slowly stood there, as if waiting for someone. The black figure is not in a hurry, sits on the ground, and then closes his eyes slightly. This is so, even if there is any trouble here, it will be the first time. Within the Xuanling Emperor Pond, Mu Yingying and Mu Feng also had their own experiences. Since Mu Yingying entered the Xuanling Emperor Pond, a rather greedy aura has also emanated from her body. What about Xiaoyan and the others? After being separated by that mysterious, irresistible force, Mu Yingying also found herself on a rock. There is only a very calm sea around. Mixed with golden sea water, there seems to be a mysterious power in the sea water, which makes Mu Yingying also curious about this golden sea water. Xiaoyan and I should have been distracted by the power in the Xuanling Emperor Pond. Mu Yingying also moved her lips slightly, and then she muttered to herself. The next moment, Mu Yingying also gently touched the golden sea water with her finger. An extremely special power also spread through Mu Yingying's whole body. What a strong power! No wonder. Mu Yingying also laughed. The next moment, on Mu Yingying, the terrifying half-step 5-star Do-de level strength also burst out in an instant, and the blue flame also slowly attached to Mu Yingying. The 3,000 silks plus that are as holy as a fire elf. It seems that the 2 of them are also separated from me. Mu Yingying also radiated her enormous power just now, trying to find Xiaoyan and Mu Feng, but found that she could not find their breath. This mysterious spirit, the area of the Imperial Pond is also very large. What a pretty woman. A little loli also slowly emerged from the water, revealing a pair of eyes above the water, but the strange thing is that the pupils of this little loli actually scattered some extremely twisted taste. After carefully checking that there was no one around, Mu Yingying was also relieved, and then suddenly sat on the reef, rolled up her skirt, and revealed her extremely white jade feet. Sitting down slightly, Yuzu stepped into the golden Xuanling Emperor pond. The cold feeling spread all over the body, but the next moment, an extremely pure power also slowly flowed to him along the jade feet. This Xuanling Emperor pond is really different. However, the energy density here can be a little too low. It seems that it is not a waste to find a place with a higher energy level. Mu Yingying had a plan. But she did not leave immediately, but her jade feet slightly swinging, and then splashing pieces of water, Mu Yingying's lips parted slightly, revealing an extremely rare smile. With that smile, her eyes moved slightly, like a fairy. If I had to say it bluntly, smile all over the city and smile all over the country. This is the best metaphor? After playing for a while, Mu Yingying also sat on the reef, and then a rather exquisite jade bottle appeared out of thin air in the palm of her hand. Inside the jade bottle, an elixir also slowly appeared in it. The elixir had quite exquisite patterns, and even through the jade bottle, one could smell a rushing fragrance. If Xiaoyan was here, he would be able to realize that this medicinal pill would be the douyi pill. Moreover, Xiaoyan could know by just a glance that the rank of the douyi pill in front of him was close to perfect, because the exquisite lines on this douyi pill obviously illustrate a truth. That is the refiner who refines this medicine pill. His strength is definitely not bad. What is even more terrifying is that even Xiaoyan can't compare to this medicine refining technology. Douyi pill. Mu Yingying also stared blankly at the pill in front of her, and then said slowly, douyi pill is the reward for the top 3 in the points looting competition. Xiaoyan, Mu Yingying, and Mu Feng, each of them has one. It's just that before entering the Xuanling royal family, Zhu Lao secretly gave the douyi pill to Mu Yingying and Mu Feng. But it was the only one who didn't give it to Xiaoyan, because the purpose of this douyi pill is to directly raise the power below the 5-star douyi level by 1 level. Before Xiaoyan was only in the middle stage of the 4-star douyi, Zhu Lao was also afraid that Xiaoyan could not eat this pill in a hurry, so he did not give it to Xiaoyan rashly, for fear that he would swallow it now. Otherwise, this douyi pill is also used to break through after the late 4-star douyi. Zhu Lao will only give it. I'm already a half-step 5-star douyi. I don't know if I can break through to the mid 5-star douyi with this douyi pill. The next moment, Mu Yingying also came back to her senses, and then slowly held her hand this douyi pill. Although this douyi pill is only useful for the 5-star douyi and below, it is already a half-step 5-star douyi, so it is also within the scope of use. It is best to find a place with strong energy. In that case, the grasp is also much greater. With a plan, Mu Yingying also plans to fly away, because Mu Yingying also felt it in the dark. There is also a place with a lot of energy in this Xuanling Emperor pond. Surrounded by azure flames, he stood up abruptly, his toes a little, and he walked on the water. As if a dragonfly touches the water, it is quite light. Hee, miss, don't leave, stay and play with me, okay? A clear voice echoed beside Mu Yingying. Who is it? Mu Yingying is also paying attention to the situation around her at all times. The moment this voice appeared, even with Mu Yingying's current half-step 5-star douyi level strength, she was quite puzzled. Because according to Mu Yingying's perception, the source of this sound is actually from all directions. Can't find the source of the sound at all. The unknown is the worst. But at this moment, Mu Yingying showed her extremely decisive side. An azure blue flame spread out instantly, and then slowly turned into a pair of armor on top of the body. With this flame armor, Mu Yingying also had some calmness. Then he stopped, his toes on the water, and then Mu Yingying slowly glanced around. What a weird flame. It's actually the same as the flame on that human kid. Little Loli's voice was also heard, and the next moment, a huge vortex appeared on the surface of the water. Seeing this, Mu Yingying also became vigilant, because the source of that voice was the center of the vortex. Chapter 372, The Mysterious Power from the 7th Floor of the Underground Palace. What a terrifying wave. Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes wrinkled slightly, and then stared intently at the vortex swirling above the water surface. In that vortex, there is an extremely small figure. Gila. Huge blisters also emanated from the center of the vortex, and the next moment, the figure of the little Loli also appeared. The first thing that caught Mu Yingying's eyes was a very small figure. It seemed that this figure was not even 1 meter tall. Compared with Mu Yingying, She looked really short, but the delicate face of little Loli also surprised Mu Yingying, with watery eyes and hair. It is shoulder-length short hair, and a black evening dress is also a perfect way to show the newly developed figure. Besides, what attracted the most attention on this woman was the big eyes. Mu Yingying stared at it for a while, but also found that she seemed a little sloppy, and immediately shook her head violently, trying to make herself a little more awake. And then the next moment, he also said, "Who are you? And listening to your tone just now, you seem to have met another person with a flame besides me. Where is he?" Mu Yingying also didn't give little Loli a chance to breathe, and then asked a series of questions. Because the only people who entered the Xuanling Emperor Pond were the three of them in the incense pavilion. If they also possessed the same flame power, it could only be Xiaoyan. "Big sister, you ask such a question in one breath, how can I remember it?" Little Loli also looked harmless, her big watery eyes staring at Mu Yingying fiercely. "Who are you?" Mu Yingying didn't look directly into the big watery eyes of the little Loli. "You don't need to know who I am." Little Loli also concealed her smile and said to Mu Yingying, "Humph." Mu Yingying snorted coldly, and then the blue flame suddenly spun around her body, and the next moment, it turned into a spear and attacked the little Loli viciously away. Shabu. The azure blue energy flame spear suddenly came to little Loli's side the next moment, and surprisingly, the majestic spear stagnated around little Loli. "Big sister, why don't you do anything if you don't agree? No one likes girls who fight and kill." Little Loli also made a slight voice, and then she waved her fleshy palm lightly, and then Mu Yingying attacked. The energy spear that came here also turned into powder all over the sky, floating on the sea surface. Damn it! Seeing this, Mu Yingying suddenly realized something. Because of the blow that little Loli just made, it seems simple, but in fact it contains extremely terrifying power to make it possible. Because Mu Yingying is already at the half-step 5-star Do Di level at this time, even the ordinary 5-star Do Di late stage is quite difficult to deal with. How could it be thought that the seemingly weak woman in front of her had such a terrifying power in her body? By the way, the person who has the same flame as you, big sister, he may die without a burial when he enters a mysterious place. Little Loli also said slowly. "Humph. It's a mystery." Mu Yingying also snorted coldly, but at this time Mu Yingying knew that she was not the opponent of this little Loli in front of her, so she immediately had the intention of retreating. This Xuanling Emperor Pond hasn't come to such a beautiful person for many years. "Big sister, can you stay with me?" Little Loli's pupils also slowly emitted a wave, and then she stared at Mu Yingying, saying a word one sentence. "I will not accompany you." Mu Yingying also said softly, and the next moment, her speed suddenly skyrocketed, trying to escape from this little Loli. "I have existed in this Xuanling Emperor Pond for 1,000 years, and nowhere in this place can escape my perception, so it's better to give up." The next moment, little Loli's figure also bent down and disappeared above the water. When Mu Yingying heard the words, she did not feel discouraged at all, but continued to speed up and escape from the place where this little Loli existed. Hoo-hoo. After Mu Yingying's speed increased, she kept walking for a few minutes, leaving a distance of dozens of kilometers, and then her toes slightly touched the surface of the water, gasping for breath. "Big sister." A crisp voice also appeared in Mu Yingying's ears instantly. Then Mu Yingying also saw this. The water surface in front of her was spinning, and the center of the rotation was that little Loli. Damn it. This time, Mu Yingying also understood the seriousness of the matter, and immediately her beautiful eyes sank slightly, and then she stared at little Loli intently. "Big sister, why can't you run away?" "Because I'm the witch in this Xuanling Imperial Pond." After the little Loli finished speaking, a strange smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, and the next moment, there was a terrifying wave in her pupils. On the witch's body, those big watery eyes, for some unknown reason, actually spun round and round. The next moment, Mu Yingying also fell into a sluggishness, and was out of control. Big sister, now we can be together forever." The witch also laughed strangely a few times, and then walked towards where Mu Yingying was. What the witch just performed was one of his charm techniques. This charm technique has a great success rate for those whose strength is lower than her own, so Mu Yingying had no defenses, so she was also caught. At this moment, Mu Yingying stood on the water surface slightly sluggishly, with her eyes open, but motionless, like a statue. Hee, big sister, let's go, I'll take you to my palace. We'll be together forever. The witch was also close to Mu Yingying, only to realize that the woman exuded an extremely holy aura, as beautiful as a fairy who doesn't eat fireworks. After doing all this, the witch also raised her chubby palm and just wanted to hold Mu Yingying, but a terrifying voice echoed in this space. Move her. Death. Above the water surface, the space was also distorted, and then an extremely hot wave was emitted from the distorted space. The flame power appears strangely black, but the damage to the witch is not low at all. Shabu. The next moment, in the twisted space, a black flame with a destructive aura also appeared out of thin air, and then smashed viciously on the witch's body. The power of holy flame. At this moment, the witch also had a rare solemnity on her face. Because of the attack of the black flame just now, has blocked all the escape routes around her. At this time, the witch has various degrees of damage all over her body. That chubby palm is also constantly bleeding black blood. Damn it. It's really unlucky. After the witch finished speaking, she no longer hesitated, and she suddenly covered her head and plunged into the water. One strike? Seriously injured? The power of this black flame is so terrifying. On the 7th floor of the underground palace, a certain space here is also distorted. At this time, a huge figure penetrated by chains, emitting extremely terrifying black flames from top to bottom. Mu Yingying, hurry up. A voice was also introduced into the distorted space, and the distorted space was suddenly closed at the next moment. What did you just do? The next moment, a breath like a waking giant dragon suddenly sounded on the 7th floor of the underground palace. Ha ha ha. Human old dog. It's not that easy to devour this king. The figure whose body was penetrated by chains also laughed. Humph. You won't be able to jump for long. The mysterious old man didn't care about that. The next moment, the 7th floor of the underground palace also returned to calm, but the corner of the mouth of the figure penetrated by countless chains seemed to be whispering something. Chapter 373, the 7th floor of the underground palace. Cough, cough. The next moment, Mu Yingying also came back to her senses, and then she just felt a weak feeling in her body. Yingying, let's go. A powerful voice also slowly entered Mu Yingying's mind. Brother. Mu Yingying heard the words, her pupils also became a little wet. This familiar feeling was clearly his long-lost brother. Elder brother. Is it you? Where are you? Mu Yingying couldn't help but say. I used to have a smooth life with my brother, but unexpectedly, my brother went out for a year and never came back. No matter how Mu Yingying contacted her brother, there was no news. At this moment, listening to her brother's voice, Mu Yingying's longing tears couldn't stop flowing. However, some of the responses to Mu Yingying were just deathly silence. The next moment, Mu Yingying's eyes suddenly spread out, and she glanced away at the surface of the flameemperor pond, and then a huge power emerged in an instant. Suspended in front of Mu Yingying's chest, there was an extremely weak blue flame. The azure flame slowly floated in front of Mu Yingying's chest, slowly exuding a strange power. This power, even if it is xiaoyan, is very afraid. The space seemed to be burning, and I couldn't help trembling slightly. What's the smell? On the 7th floor of the underground palace, the old man who had closed his eyes slightly opened his eyes instantly, and the huge perception instantly filled the 7th floor of the entire underground palace. The next moment, the old man's perception was also locked in the 1st floor of the underground palace. What is that? The old man also murmured slowly, because from his perception, there is a terrifying flame force that is not inferior to holy flame in the 1st floor of the underground palace at this time. Not good. The man who was bound by the chains in the 7th floor underground palace also sensed the intention of the old man in front of him, and immediately said to himself. The next moment, the black flames all over the man appeared impressively, and then mixed with unstoppable power, roaring away at the old man. Just as the man mobilized his strength, the chains around his body tightened abruptly, and then a burst of pain spread all over his body, but at this time the man couldn't care so much, and his eyes were only red. Humph. Facing such a ferocious black flame, Rao, with the strength of the old man, did not dare to take it rashly. He immediately focused his attention on the black flame, and when he moved his hands, a terrifying power instantly matched the black flame. The flames are against each other. Boom boom boom. Horrible fluctuations also erupted in this dark space. Damn it! The power of this holy flame has been suppressed, yet it is still so terrifying. Thankfully, this place was specially created, otherwise it would not be able to withstand the attack of this lunatic. The old man also said slowly. Ah! As the attack fell, the man also cried out like he was going crazy, because when the man launched the attack just now, the chains running through his body also surged, bringing him the pain of 10,000 chains. Humph! Yanzi, why bother with our Xuanling royal family? As long as you promise to submit to us, then the inexhaustible glory and wealth will be in front of you. The old man was also talking. A group of hypocritical hypocrites are also worthy of my obedience. If you want to get my source power, can you come and try it? The man called Yanzi also laughed and said disdainfully, ha ha ha, don't worry, you won't be so stubborn soon. The old man also said slowly, you said it hundreds of years ago, and it's the same now. Yanzi snorted coldly. Hearing this, the old man didn't pay any attention to the scorching heat, closed his eyes, and continued to practice. Why can't you sense it? Above the surface of the Xuanling Emperor pond, Mu Yingying also said with disbelief. Brother, he whispered softly. Some of those who responded to Mu Yingying were just dead silent. The next moment, Mu Yingying also slowly put away the flame in front of her chest. The power of this flame, I am afraid that Xiaoyan's fusion of 23 kinds of different fire power is not inferior. Elder brother, you can't have any accident. Mu Yingying also moved her lips slightly, and then said slightly worried. After a brief thought, Mu Yingying was not stopping. After all, it was to prevent the witch from coming back. Mu Yingying immediately headed towards a certain place she sensed. Where? It is the core area of Xuanling Emperor Pond, where Xiaoyan retreated, but I don't know why this Mu Yingying does not have any token of the Tianhui clan on her body, but she actually knows this core area. Cough cough cough. Damn it. What is the relationship between this woman and the one in the deepest part of the underground palace? The witch also dived into the water, and then slowly left where Mu Yingying was. Actually let the person in the deepest part of the underground palace not hesitate to take a shot. That person in the deepest part of the underground palace is a genuine douyin. The little witch's appearance was also quite dissatisfied, but the evening dress on her body was also horribly broken, but the witch also had blood flowing out. It wasn't that the witch left at that time, she had no doubt that she would be killed directly by the one in the deepest part of the underground palace, because she felt the real destruction from the power just now. It's all small monsters who came in this time. After the witch finished speaking, she didn't do anything. She walked towards the depths of the Xuanling Emperor Pond, not knowing what to do. Shabu shabu. Ho ho ho. What a strong power. On the other side, Mu Feng was also directly immersed in the water, and then said slowly, but I just don't know where Xiaoyan and Mu Yingying are going. After Mu Feng finished speaking, he was enjoying himself, because the mysterious power in the Xuanling Emperor Pond, even if he just came into contact with it. In the water in the Xuanling Emperor Pond, an extremely comfortable feeling spread all over the body in an instant. Dode pill. It seems that this time I can also use this Dode pill to break through the 5-star Dode. Mu Feng also laughed. Although Mu Feng was only at the peak of the late 4-star Dode, he was only one step away from the completion of the 4-star Dode, so with the help of the mysterious effects of Dode pill and Xuanling Emperor Pond, it was a matter of course. With a plan, Mu Feng also plunged into the Xuanling Emperor Pond, and the further down he went, the greater the effect. At this time, Xiaoyan was also located in the center of the core area of the Xuanling Emperor Pond, and then he sat cross-legged, and the water in front of him that contained extremely terrifying vitality was slowly moisturizing Xiaoyan's body. Let's give you some tips. Seeing this, Long Yi also smiled secretly, and the next moment, Xiaoyan was thrown into a pond by Long Yi. This pond appeared when Xiaoyan took the origin of life stone, but although the area is small and can only be soaked up to Xiaoyan's neck, the terrifying power contained in it is also slowly nourishing Xiaoyan. As for Mu Yingying, she also came to the periphery of the isolated island where Xiaoyan was, and found that she could not enter the isolated island no matter what, so she gave up immediately, and then went directly around the isolated island, took off her clothes, and then slowly walked into the sea, soaked in the water, only the forehead was exposed. A body as white as jade also appeared in the Xuanling Emperor pond. At this time, the three of them are also enjoying the benefits of this Xuanling Emperor pond. Chapter 374, The Secret Deal Between the Xuanling Royal Family and Solomon. Within the Xuanling Royal Family, there was a rather dark gate, and several figures slowly appeared at this time. Among them, there was one, who was the person in charge of Solomon who participated in the super sect trials. Solomon, in this Xuan 3 days, is a fairly low-key sect, because there are very few things that come out, and the disciples within Solomon are also extremely low-key. However, even if it is like this, it cannot resist the prestige of this Solomon. After all, it is possible to be within the 9 super sects within the Xiantian Santian with as many sects as the stars. No one can be trusted without any background. A few people slowly entered a room, and Wen Ziyi also carefully checked to see if there were any suspicious people, and gently closed the door of the room with you. Just as Wen Ziyi closed the door of the room, a slight spatial fluctuation also quietly entered, and then he stood still in a certain corner of the room. How are things going? Wen Ziyi also asked. In the room, the dim light also shone slowly, and then a voice emanated from it. According to our investigation, the Medusa clan did not know where a clan with the blood of the 9-colored swallowing python came from. Since the arrival of this clan, the 9 major tribes that originally faced each other in the Medusa clan have all surrendered to her rule, but only 3 tribes refused to obey her rule, but the blood of the 9-colored swallowing python was helpless. The power is too powerful, and it also has a terrifying power to suppress the heretics in the family, so those 3 tribes are also suppressed. Solomon's 12th sect master also spoke slowly. Oh, how about the strength of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python? Wen Yi also responded slowly. Obviously, although he helped King Xuanling with one hand, King Xuanling also concealed something from him. The strength of the 9-colored swallowing python is mediocre. I am afraid that it is now at the level of a 5-star dode. But Solomon's 12th sect master also seemed to hesitate. But what? But it doesn't matter. Wen Ziyi didn't put on any airs at all. After all, the relationship between the Xuanling royal family and Solomon was somewhat close, so there was no need to put on airs. More importantly, beside the 12th sect master of Solomon, there are 2 mysterious figures in black cloaks. Even Wen Ziyi felt an extremely fearful aura from both of them, so he had to lower his stance. As far as Wen Ziyi knows, Solomon has a total of 12 sect masters, and the strength of each sect master is extremely terrifying. And the one in front of him, Solomon's 12th sect master, has reached the level of the 7-star dode. As for the other sect masters, his strength is only stronger than these 12 sect masters. However, our Solomon experts have investigated, and it seems that the 9-colored sky-swallowing python hasn't appeared since the last time. It seems that they have entered the forbidden land of their Medusa family. Solomon's 12th sect master also said. Really? Wen Ziyi was overjoyed when he heard this. If this 9-colored swallowing python is not among the Medusa family, then dealing with the Medusa family is quite simple. It's my king's goal, and it's this 9-colored swallowing python. She has entered the forbidden area of the Medusa family, and then we will be able to take action. Wen Ziyi also laughed when he heard this. That said, don't forget that the forbidden area of the Medusa family is extremely strange. Even our first sect master couldn't detect what was in the forbidden area. And this forbidden area of the Medusa family is only accessible to the royal families of their 9 major tribes, and the inheritance in the forbidden area is extremely terrifying. So you should be careful. Solomon's 12th sect master also said slowly. Wen Ziyi heard the words and was also shocked. If this Solomon's first sect master couldn't explore the forbidden area of the Medusa clan, I am afraid that no one in Xuan 3 days would know about the forbidden area of the Medusa clan's things. I don't know what these 2 are called. The next moment, Wen Ziyi also realized that the matter was over, and immediately bent down and said to the 2 mysterious figures beside Solomon's 12th sect master, "You don't need to worry about that. When you go back, remember to tell King Xuanling that our plan has to be advanced. And this forbidden area of the Medusa family is only accessible to the royal families of their 9 major tribes, and the inheritance in the forbidden area is extremely terrifying. So you should be careful." Solomon's 12th sect master also said slowly. Wen Wen Zhi heard the words and was also shocked. If this Solomon's first sect master couldn't explore the forbidden area of the Medusa clan, I am afraid that no one in Suan Santian would know about the forbidden area of the Medusa clan things. I don't know what these two are called. The next moment, Wen Zhi also realized that the matter was over, and immediately bent down and said to the two mysterious figures beside Solomon's 12th sect master, "You don't need to worry about that. When you go back, remember to tell King Xuanling that our plan has to be advanced, and the forbidden area of the Medusa family is full of variables. Let him send troops as soon as possible." After Solomon's 12th sect master said, he also put on a black cloak in an instant, and then the next moment, the three also disappeared in this place, in a dark room. Looking at this fluctuation, the strength of these two will definitely not be lower than that of the 12th Solomon sect master. Wen Zhi looked at the disappearing three people and said slowly, "Could it be?" The next moment, Wen Zhi also remembered something, and he also had some thoughts in his heart when he combined with the few people from the burning incense pavilion. The next moment, Wen Zhi also slowly left the dark room, and then walked towards the Xuanling royal family. At this time, in the dark room, the space was twisted slightly, and a force also dissipated out of thin air. It seems that the Xuanling royal family and Solomon have made a big move this time. In a room, Elder Zhu slowly opened his eyes and said slightly, "King, Solomon's people are here. They told me, let us send troops as soon as possible. Otherwise, once the nine-colored swallowing python obtains the inheritance of the Medusa family, it will be detrimental to us at that time." Wen Zhi also came to Xuanling King beside him. He said in a low voice, "Hehe, these devils. However, the work efficiency is not bad. Go ahead and assemble the other members of the Dragon-Loving Legion as soon as possible." As soon as the news spreads, it is said that our Xuanling royal family sent troops to attack Medusa. King Xuanling was also staring into the distance, and then there was a different look in his pupils. "That's right, King. In addition to Solomon's 12th sect master, there are two extremely terrifying figures beside him who came to Xuanling City this time." Wen Zhi also remembered something. "Hehe, it seems that Solomon is more anxious than me. However, even if this Sujin is me, I have to give him 3 points." King Xuanling also said slowly, "I really don't know, why does Solomon have the idea of ruling the entire Xiantian 3 days? With so many sects, can one of them handle it by themselves? It's too whimsical. But forget it, when I get the blood of the 9-colored swallowing python, whether it's Xiaoyan, the Suan 3 days, or even Solomon, it's all mine." Ha ha ha. Terrifying laughter also spread throughout the room. "Wang, no matter what, my life is yours, so no matter what you do, I will support you unconditionally, even if I sacrifice my life for you." Wen Zhi said silently in his heart when he heard the words, and then slowly retreated. Chapter 375, Breakthrough to 4-star de consummation. Minutes and seconds have passed, and Xiaoyan and the others have spent a lot of time entering the Xuanling Imperial Pond. Although they are outside for a day, they can stay in the Xuanling Imperial Pond for 10 days. Gila Gila. In the center of the core area of Xuanling Emperor Pond, a thin figure slowly appeared. That figure was actually Xiaoyan. At this time, Xiaoyan was surrounded by milky white flames, and then slowly immersed in a pond. This pond is also strange. It only has a very small space, but it is very suitable for Xiaoyan, as if it was tailor-made. At this time, the golden water around Xiaoyan's body also slowly soaked it. Then the milky white flames around Xiaoyan's body also caused the golden water to emit extremely hot temperatures. The golden energy in this Xuanling Emperor Pond is really mysterious. It seems that absorbing this mysterious golden energy is constantly consolidating my soul realm and battle chi. Xiaoyan also muttered in his heart, and then the next moment, it was also slowly running the flame mantra. At this time, Xiaoyan was immersed in the Xuanling Emperor Pond. Water, and the golden power that was suspended beside Xiaoyan also slowly flowed from all directions, and then all of it flowed into Xiaoyan's body. The next moment, just when the golden power was about to flow and disappear, Xiaoyan suddenly opened his mouth, and then an extremely terrifying wave slowly absorbed the rich golden power into his stomach. The reason why Xiaoyan did not immediately absorb the life force given to him by his master, the Golden Dragon King, was to use this extremely rich life force to shock the 4-star douyi to consummation. After all, Xiaoyan at this time is already in the middle stage of the 4-star douyi. After absorbing the immortal body, although he did not bring a breakthrough in power to Xiaoyan, Xiaoyan also found that he vaguely touched the middle stage of the 4-star douyi, the threshold of the peak, and the power of life in front of him is probably fatally attractive to douyin level powerhouses, so it is feasible for Xiaoyan to use this force to break through the 4-star douyi to complete success. Therefore, Xiaoyan was also immersed in the golden water for the first time. The pond is located outside the broken space. As the source of life stone in the broken space is taken away, the next moment, the place where the pond is also collapsed suddenly, and then a water liquid mixed with a huge breath also emerged come out. The pond that emerged should be connected to the most central part of the Xuanling Emperor pond, so soaking here is also very effective, Xiaoyan thought. Therefore, Xiaoyan didn't stop there too much, and directly plunged into the pond, enjoying the mystery of the Xuanling Emperor pond. As soon as he entered the water, a cold feeling spread throughout his body, but the next moment, Xiaoyan was also pleasantly surprised to find that the slightly depleted douyi in his body actually had a very obvious recovery. And this recovery is obviously not what Xiaoyan did, but the mysterious effect of this Xuanling Emperor pond. This place is really a good place. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, the conch shell on his chest suddenly emitted a very dazzling light, and then Xiaoyan also felt that an extremely turbulent impact force was also spontaneously generated under his feet. This should be the water that connects the entire Xuanling Emperor pond. It's no wonder that this effect is so terrifying, Xiaoyan also murmured, and now he can soak it with confidence. I just don't know if this Xuanling Emperor pond has the effect it is said to have. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, he also closed his eyes, and then the surroundings returned to calm. And it is strange to say that in the golden water in the Xuanling Emperor pond, with the increase of Xiaoyan's immersion time, some golden energy slowly dispersed from the water, and then slowly poured into Xiaoyan in the body. Although Xiaoyan didn't know what this golden energy was, he didn't even need to think about it. This golden energy seemed to be about the stepping stone of the 6-star douyi, so he didn't have time to think about it. It would be great to absorb more. Outside the core area of the forbidden area, since Xiaoyan entered, the isolated island seems to have some mysterious power, which isolates this isolated island. Rao was because Mu Yingying found this isolated island, and there was no way to enter immediately. After thinking for a while, Mu Yingying also gave up the idea of entering this isolated island, and then the huge power spread instantly, and then she also took off all the clothes on her body, then slowly entered the water. The water in the golden Xuanling Emperor pond perfectly blended with Mu Yingying's jade-white figure. The next moment, I could also see that tiny traces of golden energy were continuously gathering from all directions, and then slowly injected into Mu Yingying's body. It's time. After 10 days of soaking, Mu Yingying suddenly opened her eyes, and then her lips moved slightly, and she muttered. The next moment, Mu Yingying also took out the douyi pill, and then gently opened the bottle with her jade hand. Immediately, the douyi pill with delicate lines all over her body also appeared on Mu Yingying's palm. This time, it's up to you. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, she swallowed the douyi pill, and then continued to absorb the golden mysterious energy in the Xuanling Emperor pond, plus the power of this douyi pill. I am afraid that it is only a matter of time before breaking through the 5-star douyi. Looking back at Xiaoyan, this immersion was 3 months. Even if he was outside, 10 days had passed, and there were only 10 days left before he left the Xuanling Emperor pond. This Xuanling Emperor pond is really a good thing, Xiaoyan also said quite enviously. Obviously, 3 months after absorbing the Xuanling Emperor pond, in the depths of Xiaoyan's soul realm, have a certain prototype. Even the place that holds douyi in Xiaoyan's body was gradually refined from a sea of douyi. There is a vague phenomenon of breaking through the 4-star douyi's completion. It's time. The next moment, Xiaoyan also laughed. Obviously, at this time, the power to absorb the Xuanling Emperor pond had reached its saturation point. It would be a waste of time to continue like this, so Xiaoyan also jumped out of that pond. Whether the 4-star douyi is successful or not depends on you, Xiaoyan also murmured. The next moment, Xiaoyan put the round object in the palm of his hand that contained the power of life, and slowly appeared in Xiaoyan's hand. Xiaoyan also smiled knowingly at this, and then suddenly raised his palm. A huge suction force also absorbed all the energy of life. Shabu shabu. What a strong power! When the power of life just entered Xiaoyan's body, an indescribable feeling of comfort spread throughout the body. The next moment, Xiaoyan also controlled this power of life. Facing flame, decided to go, trying to refine this power with flame mantra, so as to absorb this pure power and gain the huge power of promotion. For this huge force of life, even the powerhouses of the douyin level are quite jealous. Xiaoyan knows that he can't be impatient with this life force.
Hi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get updated on my latest video. Thank you for watching.